What's good, people? It's currently the 28th of February, 2026. It's your boy Fadlan, aka Ninja T from the MySolink community. I'm super happy to be here in the flesh with Mr. Financial Navigator
Afternoon. Thank you very much for having us.
and Cryptosi.
Hello, how are you?
Somehow I managed to open this podcast when it's actually their podcast.
Yeah. We let the guests do the hard work today.
I brought my homies, Mateus, who's my CTO and developer. And I have Sensei, who is a crypto content creator and builder, particularly in the base and Solana ecosystem, including but not limited to.
Yes, open multi-chain, everywhere the liquidity flows to, I'll be there. Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
So this was a bit of a
Off
the cuff random link up because I was supposed to be the only special guest. And then I thought, you know what? Let me bring my dev, who I bring everywhere with me now. We've been building something amazing, which I'm sure we'll talk about sometime in this episode. Yeah. And then we were in Manchester, literally yesterday, where I'm based, and Sensei came to link us originally for an hour or two, and he ended up getting the midnight coach from Manchester, arriving in London at 6 a.m., checking into this hotel at 7 a.m. and it's currently 11 a.m. And in 2 hours, we're about to go to Crypto Waffle's first ever IRL event. So
second.
Oh, second. My bad.
Yeah.
So here we are, Mr.
Good,
Financial Navigator. I'm sure you can take the stage.
Right. So obviously, topics off of mind for me this morning is how does what's been happening in Iran affect markets? Literally as of this morning. Because I think we discussed this last week, didn't we, Carl?
Yeah.
Thinking that Trump, as much as he doesn't want anything to happen, obviously something's happened now. How will that affect markets? How will people adjust to this? Will they start liquefying their portfolios? Will they get rid of their assets? How long is it going to go on for? I mean, by the looks of it, it looks like it's going to go on for possibly a week, if not longer. It's not going to be one of their drive-bys like they did last time, where they were in and out within 24 hours.
No.
So, first of all, Carl, how do you think that would affect people and their portfolios?
I think we're going to head into a risk-off environment for a little while. So, staying in short positions, expecting prices to go down. But I think it's only a matter of time before they have to print more money and prices go up. And I think some kind of Middle East destabilization has been the catalyst that we've spoken about for around a year now.
Been looking at.
Yeah. And eventually it's happened.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. It's a war with Iran. So the next thing will be, because of that, prices have spiked and now we need to print more money, which they would have had to do anyway. Yeah. And then for us, it means assets, prices go up and dollar value goes down. So I guess buy
short-term noise for long-term.
Yeah, short-term pain, long-term gain, I think.
Ninja, any other takes on how you reckon that will affect?
So before this Iran stuff, on a technical basis, myself and many intelligent people did say that there's, including yourself, there's a good chance we'll touch the 50s range. And I think there always needs to be a catalyst. There almost always needs to be a fundamental news catalyst to fill the technical gaps. Yeah. And I think this is the fundamental news catalyst.
Fill the 50K gap.
That's needed to
See,
fill
I don't think we will.
Oh, you don't think
not this news.
Oh, you think there's going to be even worse news?
Yeah, there'll be a trigger to something else. Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
I don't know what.
Even worse than this.
I mean, because the big
God
thing
forbid.
in Bitcoin stuff is Iran obviously mines a lot of Bitcoin for cheap.
Yes.
As well.
Sort of read.
That could affect that. But I think this could lead to a different catalyst that then causes that spike. Because I cannot help but think we still have a relief rally to 70, 80 before us coming back down.
Bears have looked quite weak last week or so.
Right. We've kind of gone sideways.
Yeah. We touched 60 and it was like, we're going down, down, down. But then we found some real strength in the low 60s.
Yeah.
So even this morning when we came down to 63, touched 62 briefly, I thought we've not moved down fast enough.
Yeah.
If we'd have gone through 60, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, this is the end. But yeah, I think you're right. Actually, I think we do move sideways.
Because I think if we would have actually gone down, probably would have gone down by now.
Yeah.
But you've literally got
News is
stocks
out,
dropping.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's not like it's a secret
The
anymore.
next step I think they're talking about is expansion of the hostilities to places like Dubai.
I think that's already happened as well. I think UAE had something this morning.
Okay.
Which obviously I don't know what that's going to do to their supposed deals that they had with Trump when he went over and promised so many trillions of dollars or whatever.
He said we're going to be tired of winning.
I'm tired.
Really tired.
We're tired. I'm tired. I don't know
We're
about the
really
winning
tired.
part.
So do you guys think that this would affect the liquidity on the likes of Base, SAR, and other things?
It will affect everything, but this time you just need to stay liquid, as liquidity is king. So do anything you can to earn money for the right deal. You get me?
Yeah.
Doing tax, there's some tax that will pay you if you like to work from the comfort of your home.
Yeah.
Just make sure you make the income to buy the deal, because that's when you'll be the biggest loser, when you can't afford to buy the cheap prices.
Yeah.
You can't afford to be the loser, guys.
Yeah. So the second question there is, so what are you looking to buy on the deal?
What am I looking to buy on
Yeah.
the day? Oh, for sure, more Solana. For sure, more
Yeah.
Solana.
And anything else on SAR, or just Solana as the
But yeah, and the top platforms that are truly building, I'll invest in them. There, I feel is Jupiter. It's very cheap right now. Could look into
really
that.
cheap, yeah.
I hate the technicals on Jupiter, man. There's no higher highs. There's nothing to tell me this is going to reverse. It doesn't mean that I don't think Jupiter's going to be worth a lot in the future, but I have a technical bias now. Like, if you guys were to split, sorry to swerve the conversation a little bit, but if you were to split between how you invest between technicals, sentiment, which is a bit flip-floppy, and then fundamentals, how would you split? Because I'm like 70-80% technicals now, because I used to get lost in narratives. Now if I don't see higher highs and higher lows, I don't want to buy. Like, I don't like charts that just keep doing this and then being sold a dream.
You know what? That's a wicked, brilliant question. I'll take it after you do.
That question. I hate the Jupiter chart.
Technicals, more for technicals, but I realized fundamentals play a big role as well. Like, I do realize that Bitcoin was priced in for like 50K, 49K for a long time. And despite this news coming out, potentially being a catalyst, I believe it was already programmed in. And we have polymarket bets already placed in, anticipating that there's going to be bombs dropped on by US a long time in advance. So,
Yeah, there's some heavy betting coming. I think was it 24 hours ago on that?
Yeah. A pal of mine in our group chat, he said, right, guys, war starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I think
What's that info?
yeah, so I think a lot of people can see the writing on the wall. But for me, if it comes between fundamentals or technicals, as you know, I'm a fundamental extremist.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like fundamentals. I think the
But so I
technicals give you the range. What I've found is that technicals give you the range.
Because prior to us doing this, you weren't
I didn't.
technicals.
I didn't care for technicals at all.
It was fundamental.
Absolute nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah.
But these mugs looking at charts.
And then I suppose you probably had sentiment as well. Did you have sentiment?
Yeah, sentiment, narratives, definitely.
Yeah.
But the issue we've got now is that narratives is a rigged game. You're only allowed to talk about what you're allowed to talk about. So currently, despite there being massive breakthroughs in privacy technology, the only thing that we are allowed to discuss is stable coins. Yeah. So if you go on YouTube, it's stable coin this, stable coin that. And realistically, who gives a damn? Like, if you want your dollars to have dollars, don't matter if it's crypto or not crypto.
Yeah.
So I would say I'm much more fundamentals, which is why I do quite like Jupiter as well, because of their governance, which they're not actually really using yet, but they're in place for the narrative shift, which I think we may get. But yeah, for me, coming up for the next cycle, I'm going to be strong on fundamentals.
I have another fundamental for you. Yeah.
Fine.
On project on Solana also. Do you know Metaplex? You must have heard Metaplex.
I feel like I have, but no.
What about you?
No, I don't know Metaplex.
Okay, so Metaplex is what powers 99% of memes and NFTs on Solana.
So like, is it like a pump.fun sort of thing?
More like
Bigger?
Yeah, bigger.
Right, okay.
Because 99% is a very, very big number. So what do you think about that type of fundamental? What do you think about the future of Metaplex?
I think that the next real wave, fundamentally, if we get it, will be agents transacting and then moving that value around. I think memes is one thing, but I think agents do things 10 times faster than people do.
Yeah.
So I think if they start to move things around, I think that will determine who the next winners are, which is why I like Solana at the moment. So I like Solana at the moment because there's a new protocol, this X402, which is like a way that agents can share value with each other. Might be secrets, might be money, might be whatever. And it started off on Ethereum. I think it was these guys.
I was coming there, but
I think it was
they
these guys
revived
that
it. I
started
wouldn't
it.
use the word started. Things die in this space.
Mhm.
Then something just brings it back up. So
Yeah.
they revived
Right.
it and made everybody want
But
to
everybody
back
sat
on
up and
AI
pay attention
agents.
to it.
Bruh,
Now,
even Solana is back on it.
Now that's the thing. So at the moment, it seems like most of that traffic, for whatever reason, is going to Solana,
Mhm.
and I think that's just because that's where the people who are busy, who are actually doing stuff,
Trading,
are. Yeah, I
transactions.
think that's where they're based. So
Yes.
I think that for me,
Well,
that would be
I
the
don't
next
think the price is reflecting that though. The SOL price, like at
No.
all.
But I don't think the prices are reflecting anything, and they don't until they do.
See, I'd say the only one that's actually reflecting strength is hype. Because on a day, as you can see here,
Hype
it's
don't
all
die.
red.
Hype don't die. Stands out.
Hype's the only one that's green.
When and I said this before, but in previous bear markets, it's always the places where you do the trading that do the best.
Yeah.
So last time around, Binance was like some kind of superhero because everything else was going down. Binance was going down, but much slower. So I think that's what we're having with hype at the moment. It's the place where everyone can trade. Like we're in a bear market, prices are going down. I wake up in the morning, I go on hype and I make money. You go and you short something, you make money that day. And I think that's the reason why hype is doing particularly well, because people can make money whether we're heading up or we're heading down, but not with other narratives. So I think that's why we're seeing hype. When the market does change, that's when I expect Solana to charge again. Yeah. And I think it will be the only one of that second generation of L1s that will charge. I think Ethereum will stutter.
I mean,
I
just
think the
looking at
other
the SOL
L2 will
chart,
stutter.
I mean, I know I'm not going to share it just in case it fucks the video, but if we break that support here at us, call it 70, where are we? 70-ish.
Yeah.
Like you've got pretty much a free fall to 40. Now I'm not
Bargain.
Yeah, I'm not interested in any SOL until we get to 40.
Yeah. 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 And we might even get lower than that. Might get back down to 8 where we're saying, oh, Solana's dead. Have you been to the offices? There's no one there. Da, 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 da.
Solana's always building though. I can say that as a builder. They have never, ever, ever not built in the real world. Shout out Super Team Solana, the building subsidiary. I visited the office in Saigon, Vietnam. I've met Super Team members in Thailand. I see them build every single day. I'm in the telegrams. I don't know any other chain that is building for real IRL.
Oh no, there's not.
At all times.
I think there's a lot of stuff on base.
All times.
Solana is number one, then others are after.
I'm not saying there's not a lot of stuff on base, but as somebody who has been in crypto for 4 or 5 years, full time, like this is what I look at. I don't see that IRL real world penetration like Solana across the world. And maybe that's just my biased view, but no one's
not biased. You're wearing the base t-shirts, fam.
I still like base. I still like base.
If you got to put your SOL on,
Yeah, I've got more Solana merch than base, but yeah, I don't see anyone really building in the real world at all times, regardless of price, for the past half a decade, like Solana, and that's just my view.
Yeah,
fair.
It's fair enough.
I think there's two ways to look at it. I think on one side there is the building, but I think a lot of people are building. But then for real world penetration, I think we have to talk about Tron and USDT. Because I think as far as use case has gone, that Tron USDT has actually been used the most.
In terms of stablecoin, right?
Yeah.
And I can actually vouch for this, because if you go to Hong Kong, you know how in the UK and basically everywhere in the world, we have fiat currency conversion places.
Uh-huh.
In Hong Kong, cryptocurrency conversion is almost as common as fiat currency conversion.
Yeah.
I can testify that on every major street there is multiple places where you can send them USDT specifically on Tron.
Yeah.
They ask it for it. They
Yeah,
don't want it on
dollars,
any other chain.
Yeah, specifically
Yeah.
on Tron, yeah.
Specifically on chain, and then you can get either fiat in the bank or just straight cash. And I think that's to do.
Why do you
with,
think that is?
I think it's to do.
$1 million question.
Yeah. I think it's like there's some government intervention with regards to that, and also forex traders around the world love Tron. Everyone who I know who trades forex, they want USDT on Tron, and that's just been the staple liquidity.
But this is the thing where I'm confused, right? Because if you go anywhere, so Hong Kong, Turkey, parts of Africa, it's always Tron.
Yeah.
And the question is why?
Yeah, why?
How did Tron win that battle? Because USDT started on ETH. But yet still, no one asks for it on ETH. And you could say maybe it's because of the fees.
Yeah.
But it'll be cheaper on Arbitrum or Base, but no one's asking for USDT on those networks. Always Tron. And I wish I knew why.
Yeah, I don't know why. So my conspiracy hat is just saying there must be some kind of high-level government corporate interest
But
for that liquidity pool to remain.
it's
'Cause
in
no one's
multiple.
building on Tron.
But it's in multiple
building on
countries. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. And nothing else is being built on Tron.
Even the Tron meme coin season lasted about 5 minutes.
And another question is, why aren't people building things on Tron, knowing? Because we all know Tron is where the most actual stuff is happening, away from meme coin trading on Solana.
Yeah.
The most actual real life transactions is happening on Tron. Why isn't anyone building anything on Tron? Why was Hyperliquid built alongside Arbitrum and not Tron? When you know all of the USDT value is on Tron, why didn't they? Why is it still not plugged
But
into Tron?
then you got to ask questions like, if you want to just go to the whys, why is Bitcoin Cash still top 15 cryptocurrency? Like, if you look at the top 25 cryptos, do you know what's that? Is it Leo or something? It's in this in top 25. What is it? The CC Canton or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Leo.
What the hell is
I
that?
don't know what that is.
We don't know what Leo is. Do you know what it is? We don't know what it is, and it's like top 13 crypto.
I mean, you got World Liberty Finance in 20.
I know why Bitcoin Cash is still there. I know why.
Why's
Allowed to
that?
say on a podcast.
Yeah, because it's. I think Bitcoin Cash is. It's if you go back to the argument between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, if you go back to the argument, Bitcoin Cash, they were in the right. They were correct. Like, the idea was, we need bigger blocks so that we can do more transactions, so the network doesn't get congested and fees don't shoot up. And Bitcoin at the time were heavily influenced by a small group called Blockstream, who have been recently linked to this this island guy. Yeah. And the narrative, although everybody in the industry at the time was like, okay, let's just get bigger blocks, somehow, because it suited a small group of miners, we ended up with the blocks staying the same and actual Bitcoin becoming Bitcoin Cash with the bigger blocks. But those people who stayed on that train, I don't think they sell, because they're prepared to die on that hill. And I think that's the reason why. I think that's the same thing with like Monero and things like that. Yeah.
No, but Monero has use case.
Yeah, but so does Bitcoin.
No, but Bitcoin Cash, what superior technology does Bitcoin Cash over BTC?
That you can trade more without having to pay higher fees. So it's like a motorway. Let's say we've got a road, right, between two major cities. Yeah, say we've got a road between two major cities. And it's interesting because during the time, the narrative was different, right? But anyway, we've got a motorway between two major cities, right? And we've got 2 lanes. And our lanes are packed. So we've got traffic. So for us to get there, it takes 2 hours. All right, fine. So I say, all right, Ninja, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll build a bigger motorway. We'll have 8 lanes.
Yeah.
And you're like, no. I want to keep the 2 lanes so that I can charge everybody. Yeah. So that I can charge everybody, because the longer it takes, the more I can charge them.
Right.
And I'm like, but that's not in no one's best interest.
Yeah.
Apart from yours.
Yeah.
So it's not in my best interest. It's not in anybody else who's using the motorway's best interest.
Yeah.
And that was the argument between Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash at the
What
time.
about the Lightning Network?
Lightning Network takes away your ability to do things without asking. It takes away the permissionlessness of Bitcoin. So Lightning Network is good because I guess anybody can set up a channel. But what we really want is on the actual network layer to be able to make transactions, me to you, without any interference from anybody at a reasonable price. That was the argument. We could add network, we could add Bitcoin layer, but what, Lightning Network, but what that means is that now we have to trust someone else's Lightning Network.
I mean, it's been fine so far.
It's fine until it isn't, right? Because pounds were fine. Like everything was fine. Everything's fine until it's not. Everything's fine until someone turns around and says, you know what, mate, you're doing the Lightning Network for these two, but these two have done something wrong. So now let's get you.
Yeah.
There should have never been a third party. It should just be me to you, peer to peer, not peer to peer. Yeah. Not peer to peer.
But nobody wants peer to peer if it takes 30 minutes. You know,
that's why we wanted a wider motorway. So that's
get me my Bitcoin, mate.
Although to be fair though, if you're looking from an institutional lens, you would probably rather stronger security, longer wait time than faster and less security.
But the security aspect was an issue if you have bigger blocks. It doesn't make security weaker. Security only comes weaker when you start to rely on a Lightning Network or some other network. It's a small argument because it's the way Bitcoin has evolved eventually. But I do believe that after the Bitcoin wars, like the block size wars of, I guess it was like 2016 or whenever, there was a concerted effort narrative-wise to paint the people in Bitcoin Cash as crazy scammers and the people in actual Bitcoin as Bitcoiners.
Yeah, to this day, I've held that belief that Bitcoin Cash are the craziest scammers.
Yeah.
Is that not correct?
Not for me, no, because I was there at the time and it was like the Bitcoin Cash guys were all the guys who were the Bitcoiners for Bitcoin reasons. But the actual Bitcoin people was just a small bunch of miners who stood to gain from Bitcoin remaining slow and expensive, which is in no one's best interest. But it was an interesting argument, and I guess if you weren't there at the time, you wouldn't have seen how things were slanted after the fact. But
so that's why, by myself, I being newer into the space, like you say, you don't have a clue what some of these things are or why they're around. Because any of that knowledge that you just dropped, I had no idea about.
I have no idea.
Like, I've never gone down that hole with it because I don't need to.
Yeah.
So,
but all right. So here's the thing, right? And this is why I get tired of crypto, because crypto has changed dramatically. Like when we started, but when we started, it was like Bitcoin, not bombs. It was a philosophical idea as much as it was a money-making thing. And most of the people in it at the time, they were like, I'm going to retire when Bitcoin gets to $8,000 or something. Because it was, at those times, it was small. And we were like, oh, okay, whatever. And we would have things like, I've told you about this before, like under-collateralized loans. So someone anywhere in the world can borrow money and pay back at an interest rate that suits them. And if I want to give them the money, I can give it to them.
Wait. You specifically mean under collateralized, not over?
No.
I totally, because I'm a big Aave guy, so I know over collateralized. What do you mean by under collateralized?
An under collateralized loan is like a mortgage. Right. So I want to borrow more money than I have. So I'm going to give you a deposit. I'm going to give you my name and you're going to trust me that I'm going to pay you back. And you can't force me because I'm in Nigeria and you're in England. And all you've got is my screen name. So good luck finding me. And those sorts of platforms existed. And
wait, sorry. The cash liquidity provided, would that be in the currency of fiat or in Bitcoin?
Bitcoin.
Oh my God, what? So there was an era of people who lent out Bitcoin to random people on the internet.
Absolutely.
With shitty KYC on Trust Me Bro.
There was no KYC. There was just Trust Me Bro.
It was Trust Me Bro. Just sending Satoshis. So people would be like, okay, I'm going to give you 0.1 BTC and you're going to pay me back 0.1 BTC.
No, it would have been more than that. It would have been like a BTC or so because at those times, BTC was small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the real OG in the house.
Yeah.
I thought I was OG.
I'd be shitting
you
myself if
know
the
about
price
this?
went up 10x in a week.
So, all right. So here were the two problems, right? But the thing is, this is the part that's crazy, right? This is the part that will blow your mind. It was so easy to make money on those platforms because all you had to do was diversify who you lent to. Now, if I lend to 50 people, chances are 5 of them are going to steal my money.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
I know 5 of them are going to steal my money. I know that.
It was only 90% of people were honest, yeah.
Yeah, much more than 90% because people had their own reputations.
Right.
And that's what keeps people in line. Like we think it's violence, but it's reputation.
Okay, so let me ask you this, right? So let's say you are the loan provider.
I
Right.
was, yes.
Okay. Well, I hope you got enough of your satoshis back.
Yeah.
So I say, Cryptosi, I need to borrow 1 Bitcoin from you.
Yeah.
Right. Let's say Bitcoin's only $500. Right.
Yeah.
I need this Bitcoin because I need to pay some bills.
Yeah.
So you give me the Bitcoin. I sell it for $500. I
Uh-huh.
pay my bills, and then Bitcoin skyrockets up. Mate, I can't pay you back. It's too much.
Right. So that was always a problem. Always.
Right.
So you would have loans in 2 different things. You would have them in dollar value
Yeah.
and you'd have them in Bitcoin value.
Yeah.
So you would come to me and you would specifically say, I want to borrow 1 Bitcoin
Yeah.
or I want to borrow $500.
Yeah.
And those are 2 very different things.
Very different.
Right.
things.
Yeah.
Those are 2 very different. And that was, I would say, the biggest worry at the time. So, but again, you just diversify. So I would diversify the dollars I lent and I would diversify the Bitcoin that I lent.
Yeah.
And knowing full well, if the price does shoot up in Bitcoin, chances are you're not going to be able to pay me back. Unless some people were using Bitcoin to go and buy equipment to mine Bitcoin. So if that's the case, and I've given you money to go and mine more Bitcoin and the price of Bitcoin shoots up, you can still pay me back. It's win-win.
And it'd be
So-
a hell of a lot cheaper than what you just done.
There you go. So, and in those types of loans, in those types of situations, what we're really gambling on is the price of Bitcoin going up eventually.
Yeah.
That's what we're really gambling on.
But
And
it went up really fast in 2017 to 2018. Did like a 20x.
by the
1K
time
to
it went
20K.
up, by the time it went up really fast, all of these loan platforms had been killed off.
Right.
And
Because of
that's
the
how,
speed it progressed.
because somebody was worried.
So the bull market of this, trust me, bro, very crappy KYC like phase was during the consolidation phase of Bitcoin in like 2015, 2016.
2013, 2014.
Oh my God, before my time.
2013,
Oh my
2014.
That's-
There was a site called, there was a website called BTC Jam. If you go on the Internet Archive, if you go on the Internet Archive and you look up BTC Jam, go and look at the website, and you would have like a credit file, your own credit file, and it would just be based on how much you borrowed, how quickly you'd paid it back, and how often you'd paid back late,
Oh,
and if you've ever defaulted.
Oh, my
And
God.
the beauty of it is everything's on chain.
Okay.
So you can see.
So you can see everything's on chain. So, and I used to lend to people in Venezuela and chicken farmers and all this kind of stuff. It would just be people that would say, give me some money, I'm going to go and do so-and-so. Trust me, bro, I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
And what people would do, which was like another one of the bad things, was they would build up their credit file to a certain level.
Take a big loan and not pay it back.
Yup.
Yeah.
And then off we go.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you'd see it coming.
Yeah.
So the person will be like, okay, I'm going to take out $1,000 this month, $1,000 next month. And they do that like 4 or 5 months. And then on the 6th month, they're like, oh, yeah, just give me 20. Trust me, bro.
As soon
Because
as you see that, you're like,
yeah. Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. But people started to understand it. And then what happened was there was a second market built around retrieving the money in different countries.
Oh my God.
So people started, because it's still a contract between 2 people.
Yeah.
And we do have courts of law to enforce if somebody owes somebody money.
Yeah.
So it became very easy. So what the next thing was, what people were doing in different countries where they're like, right, if someone owes you money in Panama and you want to get it back, I've got a company that will take the contract that you've signed between the 2 of you with the trust me, bro, no KYC, whatever, go to a court of law and say, these are the 2 parties. This one owes that one money. I want to apply to take his house or to take his car or to take his goats. And those,
Let's you go and do that.
and it worked.
That's nuts.
And what they would do is they would buy the debt off you. So say you've come and you've done trust me, bro, for $5,000, and then you skipped off and you're in Panama. This company, they would I could approach them and I could say, right, go and get the money back from so-and-so. And they would say, okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. They'll buy it off me for like 20 cents on the dollar. So I might get, I don't know, 1,000 of my 5,000 back. And then they would go after you and they would chase you and retrieve whatever they can. And those companies were also profitable. All those things were profitable.
Bitcoin debt collection from people who ran away from the trust me bro non-KYC.
Absolutely.
What world?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What world?
But now we're not building
Crazy
that.
stuff.
Now all we're talking about is stable coins.
Yeah.
But stable coins is not a real use case. But
I think it would just be the transactions between bots
yeah, that's the only one.
and what chains they transact on.
So do you think the borrowing and lending narrative would ever come back?
Not as long as we all use Instagram and Facebook and stuff, because
now it's easier to track people compared to them.
yeah, and we've got smart contracts now.
Yeah.
So it's easier to keep a good track on, and we got AI based data analysis. So it's very easy now for us to get very good credit reports on people.
Yeah.
It won't come back. Well, if it does come back, I don't know who's going to bring it back, because it's not in anybody's interest. So if you make a podcast and you're like, okay, well, let's build this under collateralized lending so that some of the people in the world who have got access to information but don't have access to capital can have access to capital, your video won't get any views. So if you want a video to get views, talk about meme coins, talk about stable coins, but don't talk about the stuff that is, I don't want to say dangerous, but useful.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we're pushed towards these types of things. We're pushed towards Polymarket. We're pushed towards Hype.
It's more exciting.
Using the platforms is exciting.
I think it would be more exciting if you could go to the country of your grandparents' birth and partner with somebody starting some business there permissionlessly, purely because you have the capital and they don't. And the capital might not be a large amount for you. It might be the same as buying a German car or buying a Voxel. It might be that much difference. It might be $10,000 to $15,000. And I think that would be more exciting. For me personally, I think that would be more exciting. I'd be much more excited to be able to partner with somebody in some far off land over something.
Do I think like you just told us a sneak peek of your next projects?
I wouldn't talk about that now, because you'd end up on some
Like
list.
maybe you have plans to do that in your country.
Who knows? I've disclosed
when I
information.
I can neither confirm nor deny those accusations.
So I, for the record, I do completely agree with what you're saying. When I say it's more exciting, I meant it's more exciting for the average person.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Because most people can't even think to the level that you think at to even think those thoughts. It's way easier to just bet on yes or no binary.
Yeah, but I didn't make that up. I was just around at the time when it was happening.
Yeah.
So for me, it was exciting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, and I found it more exciting. Like, this stuff is not because I'm smart, because I didn't invent any of that stuff. Other people done it. I was just there to consume it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just there. So in my day, like, that was where the APY came from. Like, now it's like airdrops and other things like that. Like the new DeFi is like, it's those sorts of things. You're like, where does the actual return come from? In those days, we knew where it came from. Somebody built a chicken farm and they sold eggs. Like, that's where your return is coming from. So I think it's exciting for people. I just think that people are often excited by what they can see. And because we can't see it, we're kind of like, I can't see how it would excite me.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. It's like, I think there's a psychology behind it, and the people who are in charge of guiding what we consume, they understand that, and so they give us lowbrow, uninspiring things to consume, and they allow us to enjoy them, and so we do.
Not so much many success stories on borrowing and lending, so nobody will talk about that.
There you go.
Success stories on who bought the meme coin last night. That was a homeless man or not.
Absolutely.
Now a millionaire too.
Absolutely.
So, yeah,
but the problem
names.
was, at that time, there was success stories of people borrowing and lending, because it wasn't hard.
Yeah, I promise I remember the era. Like
It wasn't hard. Yeah.
those that they will want it again.
Yeah. And it'd be like, okay, I've got money, and I might make 10 to 15%
Better than
per
saving
year.
in bank. Like
And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put it on these lending platforms and give it to people in far off lands. And now,
So on the subject of DeFi, are there any DeFi tokens projects that you're actually watching now that potentially could pick up going into the next cycle?
Honestly, the king of DeFi is Aave. If you've never used Aave, okay, anyone who's watching, he doesn't know what Aave is. I'll explain very quickly. Aave is the biggest over-collateralized lending platform in crypto. So much like in the real estate, let's say this was a Rolex. This is not a Rolex, but let's pretend it is. Let's pretend this is worth £5,000, which it's not. I would be, if this was a Rolex worth £5,000, I would be able to go to even Cash Generator and say to them, look, I've got a £5,000 Rolex. I need 1K, even up to 2K cash. I'm going to give you my Rolex. You lend me 2K and I make an agreement to pay back, for example, £2,200 in 90 days. If I do not pay back, you, Cash Generator, loan provider, jeweler, take my Rolex. So Aave allows you to do that, for example, with Ethereum. Let's say ETH is around $2,000. With one Ethereum priced at $2,000, you can take up to $1,600 USDC against that Ethereum, with obviously a liquidation price where if ETH dropped and then the value of the asset versus collateral was more than it fell below the 80% LTV loan to value threshold, you can get liquidated. That's an over collateralized loan. Aave is completely flawless in the sense that, if I'm not mistaken, it's never been hacked. It's the biggest loan provider in all of crypto, and it is one of the most useful crypto applications in the world. There's a reason why it holds weight in the World Liberty Finance portfolio. And even though there are competitors, for example, there's Margin 5 for Solana and there's like Camino, they don't come close to Aave. Aave, I hope you'll click this up. I think Aave is the best DeFi bet in all of DeFi. I think it's the king of DeFi. I'd love for someone to challenge me on what is better than Aave in the world of DeFi. You can say
is that in a
Uniswap.
sense of your average Joe or institutional lending as well?
Institutional lending is Aave is the king of DeFi. I don't think you could say Uniswap or PancakeSwap, the swap platform, but swap platforms can be. What is the difference between Uniswap and SushiSwap?
I
It's the
think
same
you'll
thing.
have institutions not using Aave. They'll use some sort of centralized way of doing it rather than going with that. I think your average traders like us or smaller institutions maybe will try it. But big institutions like JP Morgan and whatnot, they're not going to do that.
I don't think the big institutions have much of a choice, because I think Aave are so far in the lead, and I think the institutions often have to go where the volume is.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that will be the argument. The argument will be, well, can we control it? Can we trust it? Do they have the liquidity? And liquidity's
king.
Yeah. And I think that's what saves Aave. I don't know about Aave being the best thing in DeFi though.
What is
It was
the
a
best in
close
DeFi?
competition. Maybe two.
I think it's hype.
I
I think it's hype now.
It's a new king.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I am very bullish on hype as well.
It's between those two,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's between those two, but I think that if anything, yeah. You know what? I'll put hype and Aave on the same pedestal. Yeah.
It's a tough one
Aave,
between
like,
the two.
Because the other one that
they don't compete against you.
when you
They
think
don't
of
compete.
institutional DeFi lending, my token of choice is Syrup, Maple Finance.
I don't even know what that is.
Smaller token, but specifically built for institutional lending. And
Yeah,
even now,
but is it adopted?
Yeah, it's been adopted. I mean, not as fast as Hype or Aave or whatever. It's only been out for.
Aave was first mover, weren't it?
Yeah, first
mover
advantage.
Mate, I
massively.
remember when Aave came out on Coinbase. I remember the Coinbase listing. I think it was October 2020. It was sometime in lockdown, and I didn't understand what the hell it was. And the rise in price from like Coinbase listing to like I think like 3 weeks later, it did like a 50x. And that's when it's like, oh my God, what is this? Like, why did this token blow
Syrup
up?
did the exact same thing, except before I got in it.
Right.
So when they did the token swap from Maple Finance to Syrup, you then had this move, as you can see on the chart here, right?
Yeah.
And we had entries before this chart was even a thing
Yeah.
on the old Maple Finance chart. So from an institutional standpoint, I would say Syrup over Aave and Hype. Big ballsy. Right? But
He's betting on the
I
new
reckon
horse.
I mean, I have Hype in my portfolio regardless, right? But I reckon that is potentially going to be one of the biggest institutional lenders
I don't know enough to
if
say.
they do it right.
I don't know enough to say.
Which, by the looks of things at the minute, they are, because they're getting
If
traction.
we're talking about base, Aerodrome.
Yeah, Aerodrome. That's another.
Not
Honestly, in my portfolio, the top 3 picks: Hype, Aerodrome, Syrup. They are, and they're all DeFi plays. If you want to look at it that way. So that for me, going into next cycle or next ball, they are my biggest bags.
Do we think out of the L1s next year or next cycle, do we think base will be the biggest winner, or Solana, or someone else?
I think depending if this Clarity Act gets through, if Brian Armstrong and Base and Coinbase agree with it
That's a
and their
very
friends,
strong question.
I think
because-
Base could outperform so.
and also anyone else could.
Yeah.
That's just in fact, like anyone else.
Because
that's like so-
there will be new.
Do you get?
There'll be new
and they
guys.
can take that
Yeah.
chances. Just a mad question, but
It'll be difficult. I mean, then again, how do you play Base? Because Base doesn't have a token.
it's will now.
Yes.
Do you reckon it will though, or will they not bother?
I think they will. I think they have to.
Because the other way of playing it, if they haven't got a token, is you just buy the Coinbase stock,
Yeah. And
or you buy the DeFi Aerodrome.
I think they have to have a token.
They've
not
started
everybody
talking
can buy
about
stuff.
it. To be fair,
Yeah.
a token is coming. Well,
Uh,
nobody.
don't know.
The people that know.
yeah.
Do you think they'll time it so that they have the token released at the start of the next bull
Yeah,
market?
they'll time it to perfection.
No,
Like, come on, they know. I reckon they will time it towards the bottom.
It's not hard to release a token, right?
No. But I think they're probably waiting for the Clarity Act before they do it. So they know how to best put it into institutional hands and then go, yeah, that's fine.
What is the problem with the Clarity Act? Does anyone know?
I don't know off the top of my head. So the only thing
There's no clarity in this Clarity Act.
the thing I put it down to is, and I'm not being harsh on anyone in the US, but very like in the UK, everyone's fucking old with regards to anything, right? So when this new network effects or new technology comes in, they're like, oh my God, no, like red flag straight away. It's like now in the UK, we're talking about not being able to buy Bitcoin stuff for Euro stocks and shares ISAs. So that's basically forcing everyone to load up on MicroStrategy, which is a 5x of Bitcoin. But you can now apparently use crypto, or they're looking at using crypto to use betting platforms. So you can use it to bet, but you can't own it in stocks and shares ISA. Make it make sense. Doesn't work.
Control.
Exactly. Capital controls effectively, isn't it? At the end of the day.
That's why Bitcoin exists, right?
And that's why we probably, and like you mentioned earlier or briefly touched on, is that when they next go through that round of money printing, all of this stuff we've discussed, including Bitcoin Cash, likely heads higher.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is.
But then it's how do you buy it, and do you actually own it? Because I guess it would be similar to owning gold nowadays. Like people will say, I own gold, but do you own gold?
Or is it in a vault in Switzerland?
Yeah. Or is it in a vault in Switzerland? You say, oh, excuse me, can I have my gold, please, sir? And they say,
Or in the middle of a world war, you know, just trot over to Switzerland, knock on the door and go, excuse me, can I have my bar? They're going to go, what bar? It's all been stolen.
And I think the interesting part is Bitcoin becoming easier to buy without permission or not? And I think the answer is not. It's not becoming easier to buy without permission.
I'd argue it is getting easier for your average person to buy.
Without permission. How would you buy Bitcoin?
Not without permission, with permission.
It's always permission.
But then again, if they obviously do the DYOR on it and they can remove it onto cold storage and it quickly becomes theirs.
Yeah.
Because they used to
that's permission, right? You have to ask that. Can I have my Bitcoin, please, sir?
But unless you've been a naughty boy, right, or girl, you're not going to be given. You should be given the right to remove that off your thing.
I wish the world worked that way.
Well, I haven't had any issues with withdrawing stuff from exchanges or whatever ever. Coinbase never approve me for whatever reason.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been approved to use Coin.
You've
Well,
never used
yes.
Coin? That's
No.
interesting.
Is a legit man? What are you saying?
Go on, Brian, sort it out.
I think if you again,
Right, if you watch this.
if you use the Wayback Machine again, I think you could probably go back to like earlier days on Reddit and Bitcoin talk forums and see all the people crying about
Yeah.
having all their bank accounts closed.
Yeah. I mean, I see a lot of things on Twitter that mean the same. Revolut is stopping a lot of people withdrawing stuff. But then again, I personally, if in like 1010's a perfect example, I was in Oz at the time. The only way of me getting stuff at short notice was Revolut. So I had to buy on Revolut. And I've had no issues with withdrawing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in some cases,
It's fine, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's perfect when it works.
it's plenty of thing when it works for you,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And when it doesn't, you're like, oh my God, pissed off.
Bad tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Tell us a little or two about tech now. What you building?
Yeah.
I'm working on Deepen.
Right. Okay.
That's my big.
What does deepening mean?
Oh, you wanna go for it?
I wouldn't know the exact definition of it.
Is it decentralized physical infrastructure, isn't it?
That's the
it's
acronym.
infrastructure.
Acronym, yeah.
But yeah, it's just all off chain. So even though we're building lots of on chain, called DeFi, I believe the real future is off chain, completely off chain. So
Right. Okay.
just replacing cryptocurrency with crypto mechanics. So using tokenomics, but they're building it as points. So you can imagine you've got your FIFA points, you've got your
Yeah.
Robux, just taking the tokenomic factor from a blockchain.
And then interlinking it.
Interlinking it with just points. And building a treasury, building a ban module,
Yeah.
and then just integrate.
Are they doing something similar like that on Roblox?
I'm not sure.
Like with on the game. I mean, I don't play it, but I look at the stock and whatnot. I'm pretty sure a while ago, Mr. Harding, and going back to what were the videos called, Ninja, that you and Mr. Harding used to put out?
Which
On the-
videos?
You and Mr. Harding used to do the videos on YouTube. What was the name of them? My mind's drawn a blank here. But you used to go diving through the stocks. You used to go through.
Yeah,
the books.
it was a Monday show. We used to
Yeah,
do.
something like
Yeah,
that.
the game.
That's it. The
The
game.
game.
That's going back
There's
to
about
or 3
100
years.
episodes out now. Yeah.
Right, so on the episodes of the game, Mr. Harding would talk about Roblox, and within the game of Roblox, they would discuss that people are using smaller use cases within the game to do that sort of stuff, to interlink everything. So, mate, he might have X amount of FIFA points on an account, but want to swap it for say in game, so he'd do that.
Yeah.
So, what does off chain mean?
Off chain to me means that it's completely decentralized, but there's no sort of centralized server where anything operates.
Okay.
So, for example, what I'm building with this Wi-Fi decentralized Wi-Fi module is that I've just replaced the tokenomics with a point system, but still including my treasury, my ban system, and then all the factors that integrate tokenomics into a smart contract, but without the smart contract. So it's just basically smart without a contract. So, so it kind of
But just a contract.
yeah. It's there's no contract though. Like it's just smart.
Yeah.
Just, like it just operates as it's supposed to operate on chain, but off chain.
Okay.
So it links into that protocol with lending and borrowing money. Taking that the factor of borrowing and lending money, but borrowing and lending it without having any sort of governance factors. So you can still vote on governance and protocols to assure that things are being.
So
smooth.
could you argue that that's similar to a DAO in a sense?
Yeah.
I've not heard that word in a while.
And
Mhm. One question about Deepin though. What would you say as the largest market share? Would you say maybe VPN or Deepin?
I would say Helium probably still has a large market share. They're lower on technology.
Do they still do? Can you still buy the helium boxes?
Yeah, you can still patch.
Still do that?
Are
They
they
don't,
profitable?
they don't generate anything though.
No.
Generate,
Yeah.
um,
So I remember that being a big thing. Was it 21 cycle, 2020?
yeah, I built a massive system. I did.
Yeah.
A massive network.
Cool. And so do you want to tell us, so off before we were recording as well, do you want to tell us about what you've got going on in the background?
So you guys can see, but it has a lot going on, man.
There's a
I
computer.
think 4
that just sat
agents
there.
running together. It's smart.
There's a computer just sat there with like.
Working while it's on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's working, bro. Smart.
So do you want to tell us what's going on?
So at the moment, I'm currently tracking a whale from BitUnix that has a success rate.
Is that an exchange?
Yeah, it's
Right,
an exchange. It's a non-KYC exchange. So talking about being able to trade Bitcoin and permissions, it's not too hard to trade
Yeah.
without permissions. So at the moment, we're tracking this Unix whale, and I've built a module that when you post a signal into a group chat, it will take a signal and it will analyze it. It will rate it from 1 to 10 based on the
Is
success.
this like a
score.
paid Telegram chat? Is it?
It's all
Or
free. It's all free.
oh, okay.
But you have to use his referral link
Yeah, I
to
was for
actually
the
have access
exchange.
to the exchange. So it will take his signals, it will feed them back into my dashboard using Disco by OCR. It will read the images, everything, and then it will rank each trade based on the scoring. So based on the time of day, when he trades, the past success rate, the
Yeah.
coin, and then it will give you a variable factor that you can go off. And at the same time, it auto trades it on Binance API. So not only are we just taking the trades and building a dashboard to understand how good the trades actually are, with an 87% win rate so far, but we're also trading them on the Binance API using paper trading. And it's also got the same success rate of 87%.
Really cool.
So it's going really well.
So what else are you building there? We know about this one now, the trading boards, definitely. So what else? What else are you cooking there?
I'm cooking at I can actually show you.
You just talk about it, no?
Nah, it's better to show you, but it's
Real deep in.
real deep.
Oh, okay.
My dev comes with hardware.
Okay.
So,
See, it was just quiet. I said, no, no, no.
so this is hardware I built. This is just a Raspberry Pi 5 module with a T3 Wi-Fi adapter built into it. But it's got my own custom SSH script on it that allows people to actually not only gain extended Wi-Fi coverage back at home, but also allocate a portion of the bandwidth to the cloud. So you can imagine you have AWS, you have Hostinger, you have Netlify, you have FastHost. They all use bandwidth that's localized, and it's localized on a central server. So we're talking about centralization here. What this does is decentralizes the whole Wi-Fi network globally by allowing you to localize your Wi-Fi onto a separate adapter. So this will host its own Wi-Fi at top of your Wi-Fi and then allow you to connect to it. And then when you are inside of the app, you can select how much bandwidth you want to allocate. So this could be 0 to 50 megabytes at the moment because it wants to be constant and a fixed rate, so you don't get any drop in latency. And then it would denounce this to the cloud. And then services such as Netflix, even AWS, VPNs, people hosting LLMs, you can actually access the bandwidth from this device to actually perform your day-to-day tasks. But it also has a built-in VPN. So it does this through Mulvad at the moment, Mulvad VPN. I know you can do it with Proton VPN as well, which is a free software. But I've just gone with Mulvad, and my VPN is situated in Germany. My VPS is also situated in Germany, but I would never VPS.
Guten Morgen, GM in Germany. I'm just putting out there.
Guten Morgen, it is.
I know, but don't answer another question after that one.
No, I still think a German
A
concept.
Stein, please, sir.
So where was I? So having a VPS situated in London as well.
So what would your average Joe do with that? What can they do with it
So
that's
they-
better than their standard Wi-Fi?
So you can plug this in and gain extended coverage. So anywhere you have dead spots in your home, you now have extended Wi-Fi. So I get Wi-Fi in my garden now.
Yeah.
And I was speaking to a guy at Solana event, Gary, and he says he has a taco, which is from an origin of TP-Link,
Okay.
and it activates every time he wants to get Wi-Fi in his shed. But he doesn't get paid for that. With this device, you can actually get paid for this bandwidth. So by denouncing your bandwidth to the cloud, you actually earn points. So
Okay.
instead of earning a cryptocurrency, you earn WavyPod units, so units token based. So you can imagine with Helium how you earn HNT. When they first came about, you were earning just points, which is a point system.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is that they used a burn equilibrium model. Now the problem with a burn equilibrium model is that every time you're burning a token, you're minting it at the same rate, which causes the problem that when your token gains intrinsic value, it just has a rapid drop off because Emma just sells the tokens. So with this model, it uses burn buyback. So every time you burn a token, you buy it back straight from the treasury,
Right.
meaning
Okay.
that there's never a deficit of tokens.
Yeah.
And there's also the tokens are de-inflationary, meaning that they always gain value no matter where the position in the market. So back to how
Because there's no fiat price attached to them.
no fiat price attached to them. Okay, but there's a fiat price attached to the actual gigabytes that is stored on the device. So at the moment, ISPs charge around from $50 for a gigabyte, you have your mobile data that charges about $5. This only charges $3.50 for each gigabyte, which is the best in the market. You can't do that. You've got positions such as like Grass, and other individuals, but they all operate from an application.
Yeah.
And that's all hosted on your actual internet itself.
So if the internet is bad, you can't do much work. So
No, and if anyone wants to pass internet or broadband or bandwidth through your home internet, that imposes security risk. So
let me know when it's ready and whatever the price is, because at home, my garden, I can't work there, and it's a nice workstation, but no Wi-Fi, so no work gets. So I'll need this for
So
sure.
will you be making devices that people can then, I assume they'd have to pay for that to then put into their home?
yeah. At the moment, this costs £130 to build. £100 for the Raspberry Pi, and then £15 for the T3 link, and then £15 for the SSD.
Okay.
So at the moment,
I assume if you were to build them on scale, it'd be cheaper.
it'll be much
Yeah.
cheaper because I can cut out all the extra stuff. I don't need like an extra USB ports. At the moment, it operates on 2.4 gigahertz. If I operate on 5 gigahertz, then you'd get even a more extended Wi-Fi coverage. But at the moment, you still get a lot of coverage from this one device.
Cool. That's really cool. It's a lot more than I'm building, I'll tell you that.
So the only thing in the whole stack that is centralized is the VPN.
Yeah, it's the VPN. But you can eventually decentralize that by just pushing each traffic through each individual nodes.
But there are decentralized VPNs as well.
Yeah.
See, he gets it.
OG.
I was actually I was an advisor to a project called Sentinel back when Cosmos was first born. They were the first project on Cosmos, first IBC, I think they called it, whatever. They're still around now, but they're called DVPN. So you might want to look into
seen
those.
them talk about
VPN.
that.
That's Decentralized VPN.
Yeah, those guys are good. And what they're doing is they're focusing on using that bandwidth for AI now, for AI endpoints and AI bandwidth.
Yeah.
So
That's
probably,
definitely a use case.
yeah, probably worth looking at them because I don't think they have physical products. I don't think they have any hardware.
That's the problem. Without physical hardware, the whole system isn't decentralized.
Yeah.
And you can't push other people's traffic through your home internet. It's just not safe at all.
Yeah.
So hosting this, I can host this on the hotel Wi-Fi, no problem, and I can connect it from my phone. And I can monitor the download speeds, upload speeds, and begin earning points straight away.
Yeah. And it'd be good for people who they can also connect to your internet with their phone or with their whatever. So you can now provide internet for people in your locality through your connection to Starlink or whatever.
Yeah.
All right then, right, we're going to have to wrap this up. So before we go, let's give the ladies and gents some alpha. Okay, I want top project picks going into the next cycle. Do you want to go first, Ninja?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a big believer in Pengu. Shout out to Luca Nets and the Igloo ecosystem. Igloo ecosystem. I was the recipient of the Pengu airdrop because I was a multi-low pudgies holder in late 2024, so I do have a bias, of course, as a disclaimer. But I think Pengu is extremely undervalued. I don't see why. The only reason why Pengu wouldn't rip is if anything happens to Luca or anything dodgy is associated with the brand. I do believe the Igloo ecosystem conglomerate, Pudgy Penguins, Low Pudgies, Pengu, is the greatest intellectual property play in crypto ever so far. So yeah, Pengu, #1 meme coin pick. DeFi picks, Hype and Aave. I did make the greatest futures trade in my life recently by longing Hype in terms of like USDC PNL. What else? So Pengu, Hype, Aave. I'll do 2 more. I think Solana has extremely great risk to reward potential. I think it's very interesting that the fundamentals of Solana have been getting stronger and stronger and stronger between the 10th of October liquidation and current time of recording, which is 28th of February 2026. So basically, as Solana has gone down in price I can only see the fundamentals rising, especially with the approval of the ETF. And then last but not least, I think it would be a big shame to not catch BTC at these 50k to 60k ranges. Stack your sats.
Nice. For me, I would not recommend you to buy anything, but you should bet on community, the right community to tell you the right things to buy, and you make money. That's that. You should also bet on building. It's now easier than it was years ago to be a builder. Your computer science degree does not matter. One, AI is going to do everything. So yeah, you should also bet on building and content. Those three, you're good. You?
I would say Tau.
Yeah.
So we're looking at Tau subnets around recently, and they've been generating a lot of liquidity just based on all the projects that are coming about. So I would say pay attention to Tau, and if you can invest in a subnet, I would invest in the top 10 subnets immediately. So just
Okay.
looking at
I've been looking at Tau. I'm honest.
They are also in my community. So do you get the point of community?
Yeah.
How do you
Powerful
buy a
for
Tau
me.
subnet?
you just investing like
Oh, really? And
Yeah.
then do you pay in the currency of Tau?
You have to buy Tau
Yeah,
first,
you have to
and
buy
then
Tau
they
to
have
buy
their
the
own.
subnet.
So basically, you would have to believe in Tau, the price of Tau going up,
Yeah.
and then
So if you want broad exposure to it, just buy Tau.
yeah.
Basically.
But,
Yeah,
but
but-
if I
Yeah.
pick a subnet, it's basically the alpha to just buying Tau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
so
that,
it's
yeah.
like if you were to play ETH rather than just buying ETH, you could buy stuff that's on ETH.
Uniswap.
Yeah.
Even
All those sorts of
Aave.
things. Yeah.
Or,
For me, I'm just talking my book as well. Like Hyperliquid, we've already mentioned. Arbitrum, we've mentioned as well. I think you can't go
We
wrong with
mentioned
Bitcoin.
base too.
Yeah,
we mentioned
base. We can't go wrong with Bitcoin. I think that should be in everyone's portfolio regardless.
Yeah. The
And
king.
then, yeah, syrup for me. And then what else is in my book? Hype, syrup, Aero. Oh, and I've still got Doge. Can't go wrong with that.
Still believe in Doge?
Yeah, OG.
course, man. Would you?
It's like Bitcoin Cash is not going to die.
Can't die. The Doge guys are older than the Bitcoin Cash guys. They're old, stubborn old guys.
I started rotating Doge into Penguin. Can't lie. I was getting that Doge dip, and I thought, Doge, you're not doing the doggy. You're not doing the high highs and high lows. And I just switched to Penguin.
What do you think, Carl?
Handshake, HMS. It's a
Yeah, you mentioned that before.
it's a decentralized domain name layer, a bit like ENS, but without having to submit to Ethereum. I think that the next big fight will be for permission. We had the issue last week where we tried to get onto Polymarket. We weren't
I've
allowed.
fixed that now.
Yeah, but the problem is all this stuff exists. The technology is there. They're going to have to stop us from being able to use it. The ultimate place where they can stop it is at the domain name level. So we're going to need new domains, and that will be Handshake. Tiny at the moment. So
Research that.
Yeah. Well, then, thank you, gents. I've also got to say big thank you to you guys for coming down overnight on the phone. I appreciate that.
Don't
First
That
crypto
is-
waffle
that is-
podcast. Let's go.
We really appreciate that because it only took us probably about an hour or two, and you guys actually travelled
Took about
overnight. So
7.
thank you for that. But until next time, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and we shall see you soon. Adios.
After the second ever crypto waffle.
Yeah.
Let's go.